Let me get a yurrrrp. Yo, yo, yo. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are watching from my YouTube channel, welcome back. Please, if you're new here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. But today, what we're going to get into is this podcast. This is Confessions of a Former Habitual Cheater, featuring Latarius Whitfield. Now, if you don't know who he is, he has a podcast of his own, or a show of his own called Dear Future Wifey. And man, the guest that he brings on there is phenomenal, because they open my eyes a lot to a lot of things that I have not experienced yet, that I am going to experience. Get that? Manifestation. But his podcast, his show is really good. And if you haven't gotten into any of his videos, please do. But let's go on ahead and get right into it. Here we go.
How long into the marriage did you start cheating?
Year one.
So pretty much straight away. So why didn't you marry her instead of your wife?
Because I didn't feel like she was marriage material. So the reason why I cheated, because I had a lack of integrity. My flaw, my lack of integrity caused me to seek outside attention. The brokenness hadn't been healed in me. Then I go back and do it again. And then I cheat with her again. And then I have this affair with this particular woman. And then I go, hold on. This makes it bad if I'm just sleeping with this one person, because it's like she's taking the place of my wife. So let's minimize her experience in my life. Let's bring somebody else. So now I'm messing with a couple of girls.
Did the first girl know that you was married?
Oh, 100%. She was around before I got married. I got in the car. I've never felt this bad in my entire life.
Okay, so pause. So it says the intimacy series is a place where we have real interviews with real people. If you cannot handle reality without breaking out in hives, maybe this interview is not for you. It is my hope that we can be mature enough to reserve judgment until you get to the end of the video. I understand that this video may be triggering to some people who have gone through infidelity, but I simply ask that you do not take your personal pain out on my guests. And then at the bottom, links for resources will be in the description box below. That's real.
Hey guys, welcome back to episode 6 of the Intimacy series, where we have real, raw, relatable conversations with guests from all walks of life. And so today we have Latarius Whitfield. Did I say that correctly?
Latarius R. You better put the R in there.
Latarius.
R. Whitfield.
Oh, Latarius R. Whitfield.
Yeah, you know, you got to, stay on brand.
I'm so sorry, celebrity.
I'm messing with you.
So I said his name wrong. It's Latarius, not Latarius. Latarius.
How are you today?
Man, I'm doing great.
It's so good to be in Dallas, Texas, having this interview with you. Thank you for being a part of my Intimacy series. We're going to have a real raw conversation today. Are you ready for that?
I don't know if I can be raw. I'm really private about my life.
That's a lie.
Okay.
That's an absolute lie.
Okay, my bad.
But let's talk about that. You're very, very open and transparent on your channel.
Yeah.
You have a podcast called
Dear Future Wifey.
And what does that consist of? And what was the thought behind that?
Well, Dear Future Wifey was my personal journey as I discover, uncover, and recover love. So I'm taking people on my personal journey after my divorce, after getting into a toxic situationship after my divorce, and the healing process that I've been undergoing to make me the right man for the right woman.
Right. So can you talk us a little bit through how old was you when you got married? How did you meet? What was the love story? And what happened?
Got married at the age of 28. I met my ex-wife around the age of 20-ish, 21. Met doing the play. She was a production assistant. I was an actor. The play was called The Marriage. So how ironic is that? And so we met in that play. I had just gotten out of a relationship, and I promised myself that before I got into another relationship, it would have to be at least 1 year of me being single. And so I met her around the 6-month mark. And so I told her, because clearly we had this attraction towards one another, had a lot of things in common. And then I said, you know what, you're gonna have to wait until July the 4th. That would have marked the 1 year anniversary. And I said, we have to wait at least 1 year before I get in a relationship. Like, I ain't finna wait on you. And I was like, you ain't got to wait. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, that's what I promised myself.
So how long would she have had to wait?
About 7 months.
Wow, to get with you officially?
Yes, officially.
Okay.
And so all we did was we just hung out or whatnot. And then after that, that July 4th came around, I said, hey, I would like to be in a relationship with you. It was as simple as that.
Is that because you wanted to be in a relationship with her, or you wanted to honor your commitment?
I wanted to be in a relationship with her because she was a calming spirit. She was the type of woman that I could gauge by a clock. I knew what she was going to do each moment. She was very even keeled. Wasn't a lot of sass and a lot of finger snapping or finger waving, none of that. She was just very chill and a very classy woman. So I needed that as balance in my life. So that's why I decided to marry her.
So prior to that, you had dealt with the finger snapping.
Yeah, I did. I was attracted to. I had this attraction with
drama.
Well, toxic women.
Yeah.
It was something about those type of women that kept me on my toes, and I found myself drawn to those type of women. My ex-wife used to say, she said, you have a Captain Saver complex.
Right.
And I said, what do you mean by that? I said, you like these women that need you. And truthfully speaking, that's what it was. After I went through therapy, I had a codependency issue, and it was needing the affirmation and praise of people. And so she hit the nail on the head, and she was totally opposite of that.
Really?
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
Okay, I want to put a pin in the whole toxic attracting toxic women and the Captain Say the Who.
So I would just touch on that a little bit because the first thing I thought of when he said that, he has a codependency issue, he had a very, very strong relationship with toxic women, and he wanted to be Captain Sabo. The way that I seen that was the first thing that came to my mind actually was it going back to his childhood. If his mom ever placed that on him, he's the man of the house, and if he ever had to take care of his mother and things like that, or if he has siblings, he had to take care of his siblings and things like that. So he's used to people depending on him, that's the first thing that came to my mind. But he did state what it was. So
I want to talk more about the marriage. How was it? What are some of the pros of the marriage? And what were some of the things that you could have done without?
The pros was, again, she was constant. She wasn't some high maintenance woman that needed or cared about designer clothes and purses and all that type of stuff. Any designer items that she acquired was because I wanted to adorn her with those things and buy it for her. So she was very chill like that. She was a strong Christian woman, a woman that would pray, a woman that was raised in church, a woman that had strong moral foundation and a strong moral compass.
Was that what you was also at the time?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I was born and raised in church, and I said I wasn't going to settle for anything less than a woman that, I would always say, a woman that would anoint my pillow and pray for me, as my mom used to do. So I wanted to always be covered in prayer. And so she was that woman. And she was a very strong businesswoman. I mean, I never spent a day in college. She graduated with a master's degree in entrepreneurial studies. And so I love that about her. She was she was real serious. She was the type of woman that was very serious. So when you talk about some of the cons about it, I wish I had a woman that I could play with a whole lot more.
More playful.
Real playful. Real freaky. Amen. I'll digress. But I wish I had a woman that was more in touch with her sexuality to, just Make sex bountiful.
Did you guys wait until you were married to have sex?
No, we were waiting till we got married to have sex, but we didn't wait till we got married to have sex. Does that make sense?
No.
I mean, that was the goal.
That was the goal, but you didn't get there.
It was always the goal.
Okay.
So it was always
happens.
those oops moment led by me.
Right.
You know, I'm like, you know, we're going to keep it lit on here?
Yes.
Okay, I would always be like, can I just stick the head in? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We ain't having sex if I just stick the head in. Can I just stick the head in? She's like, I just...
What is it what men? Let me just stick the tip in. Let me just stick the tip in. I'm through. Play it again.
Boy, I still doing the same. It's just please, Lord. I was 22 years old, 23 years old. I dated her for 7 years.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah. And so I was like, just please, let me just stick the head in. You know, and that's what I would do. And amen. And that was enough for a moment.
Amen.
And then sometimes you stick
But
that
sticking
in.
the head is sex though.
Yeah, is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So you're trying to get around, basically. You really thought you were doing something.
Yeah, I was trying to find a happy middle ground.
A happy middle ground.
Don't be knocking my hustle. All right, that worked a whole lot of times with a whole lot of different women. You understand me? Amen. All right now.
Amen.
Okay,
All right now.
Don't be
See,
judging me now.
Okay, what?
see, this is what I'm talking
I
about.
would do that.
So you said that you wanted someone that was more freaky.
Yeah,
as in-
I just want sex bountiful. Like I don't need to be doing threesomes and all that type of stuff. I just want somebody not to be stingy with their vagina.
Okay, and you feel like that's what your ex-wife was?
Yeah, I felt like what she told me before we got married, she was like, listen, don't think that, I don't want our marriage to be based on sex. I didn't know what that meant. You know, she said based on sex. I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to objectify you. You know, we should have a healthy sex life. But
As I'm in the midst of applying for residency right now, wish me luck, Grammarly has again been a lifesaver with my application.
It wasn't that. It was she was more, she had predetermined, I guess, the frequency that sex would be comfortable with her or whatever. I don't know what it is. I don't live in her head. But I know in the future, amen, we're gonna look towards the future.
Yes.
I want somebody that's not selfish with their vagina. Now, don't go share it with the world.
Okay.
But share it with me. Make it bountiful for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So
Amen.
that was one of
you gotta
the.
say amen after, so you don't feel like a heathen. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. You feel like a heathen.
So
Yeah.
those are some of the cons.
Yes.
Are some of the cons what led to the breakdown of the relationship?
Yeah, the cons were, and she said it best. Before we got married, when I was going through a divorce, she said, I think I was a part of this 1,000 men of prayer at our church, and we would fast for 24 hours once a week. And on the third year of this, she said, you know what? And that's when I was going through divorce. And she said, I think that you fasted praying that I would change. And then I said, you're absolutely right. The first year that I fasted, I prayed that you would change. The second year, I prayed that I could accept those things that I didn't like, and just accept those things. And then that didn't work. And so the third year, I decided that who you are, I no longer want to be married to. And not bringing up my best self.
So what were the things that you wanted her to change, or you were praying for her to change? It was some of the things you just mentioned.
Some of the things, but there's a whole lot of other stuff that I never ever tell nobody.
Right.
Because I still have a protection over her, because she's a very private person.
Yeah.
So I never really shared those specifics. It was just things that I always said that is just not in alignment with me.
Right.
Yeah.
And did you know these things prior to getting
100%.
married? Were there things that you overlooked? Why did you overlook them? What was that process?
Because when you think about marrying somebody and I was 28 at the time, she was...
Would you consider that young?
No.
Okay.
Nuh-uh. 28, she was 32. So I felt like the age was great, but when you get married, I ain't gonna say me. I thought that, we all evolve, we all change. So certain things that you may say, this person I don't particularly care for at this time, they may grow out of it. Some may change, life changes. Some of the things that you disliked or liked before, they change in time. And so I did that with my marriage, not realizing with the mindset that I have now that who you are, who I choose to marry now, if they don't change a thing about them, I better be choosing them based upon who they are.
Right.
Now, if they decide to change and do something else, then I have a leg to stand on. I'm like, hold on, you wasn't running around being no exotic dancer when I married you. Now you want to go out, live this life now where I want to go embrace something you've always wanted at 45 years old. Now you want to be a stripper. Now, we didn't talk about that.
Right.
But if you're marrying somebody based upon who they are now, Then when they decide to change in whichever direction they go, then you can always say, you know what, I didn't sign up for this.
Right.
But still been married for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, through sickness and in health. After breaking down what those marriage vows really mean, then now I have this this ideology now of understanding what those vows truly mean. And so based on those vows, I still didn't have a grounds to divorce her. You know, it was just that in the mindset that I had, it was like, I don't want to feel like this any longer, so let me go ahead and do something different.
So you filed for divorce. Was that against, did she know that was coming, or was she blindsided?
She knew, because I told her. I told her before. And then the other part, I didn't like who I became. You know, I actually became that which I despise, which was an habitual cheater. So then I started stepping outside of my marriage, looking for that which I desired internally, and started looking for it externally. Now I don't even like who I became. So then I started going through therapy, and then I started going through therapy and counseling in the marriage. And then I started saying, okay, who is this guy? I don't like this guy. Let's get healed from some of this brokenness that has followed you throughout life. Then I go through that healing process. Now this new form of terrorists really don't like what the marriage is.
Right.
Because it's crazy, because your healed version may not like what your broken version was attracted to. And so that's the danger when you are getting married and you're broken.
Yes.
That's why I say healed people need to...
Pause. So what he just said right there is very true. When you are healed, when you are going through your healing, you no longer like what your broken part like before. The attraction to what you were attracted to before when you were broken is very different when you're healed. Like, I'm an advocate for going to therapy and healing and things like that. I strongly believe that people should go to therapy, and sometimes therapy may not work for everybody, but at least do something to heal. There's so much that you can do to heal. There's so many things that you can do. Seeking professional help is the number one, though, because it helps you in ways you never thought it would. I can attest to that. I actually have a story time, if you guys would like me to share that. But yeah, what he said is very true. So let's get right back into it.
Married.
Right.
I need to marry a healed person. That healed person needs to marry me. And now we have a healthy foundation. But if I'm broken and I married a healed person, I'm into breaking that healed person. And then when I finally get healed, then I was like, I never liked them first. It's crazy.
But could someone have told you back then that you were broken? Did you think that you were broken at 28 when you got married?
No, and we didn't even have that terminology back then. So you have to think about, mental health became popular now in the culture. You hear more African Americans embracing therapy, but you know, the white counterparts.
That's another thing. I'm gonna pause it right there to mention. So when you have to have somebody at the same level that you are. If you're healing and growing and things like that, and your person is still at that level where you met them at, you two are no longer aligned. Things are not going to work. It's not going to work because you're not going to like the person that you're seeing and dealing with. And just the healed version of you is just not going to be able to take that. You're just not. There's some things that you see in the person and you're just like, nope, because you have your non-negotiables. You've been through the storm and you don't want to go back. Nobody wants to backtrack. Nobody wants to backtrack. So you have to be aligned with that person. I know for me personally, if I'm going to therapy and I'm healing and I'm growing, I want my partner to be the same way. I don't want to step into a marriage where I'm the only one that's healing and my partner isn't. I don't want that. I'm not doing that. I'm not in that stage anymore. If we're not growing and healing together, then what are we doing? what are we doing? Because right now at this stage and this point in my life, I know what I deserve and I know what I'm going for moving forward. I can't afford it. I can't afford it. First of all, therapy costs way too much. I'm just saying. It costs way too much. But I'm going to stop it right here. We're going to get back into this tomorrow. This is really good so far. This thing is 38 minutes and 19 seconds long. 38 minutes and 19 seconds long, y'all. So far, let me know what you guys think so far about this, because, man, he is very open, honest, and transparent about what he goes through. So, like I said, if y'all haven't, listened to his show before, Dear Future Wifey, y'all need to get into that, because if y'all ever need, like, advice on something and y'all need legit advice and y'all just want to see other people's point of view and perspectives, that is the place to go to, especially for Christians. Definitely go check him out if you haven't already. But with that being said, I'm gonna wish y'all a beautiful, blessed, abundant day, and I'm gonna get out of here.